Welcome everybody to another episode of the Blue View podcast. Now, we have taken obviously a week break or so for the international break, but we are back now with more content for you. We've got lots of big things lined up in the near future, and we're on here for an episode today. We're very, very happy, as you can probably tell from the title. Chelsea winning away at Newcastle 3-0 was absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, we've actually got a new guest on today, someone we've not had on before. I've actually been on his podcast before, which is also very good. So I want you guys to check this guy out. So it's going to be the Grand Dam from Twitter, also known as Dami. Dami, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
What we all say, listen, man's coming stepping correct. You know, we never miss, we never lose. Chelsea Football Club back again with the international break and that. Nathan and Pies, what we saying? How you man doing? I'm gassed.
No, honestly, I'm so happy to have you on because you're like so full of energy and stuff. You're not boring, so it's going to be a fun episode as well because obviously we're in really good vibes and stuff. So yeah, glad to have you on.
This ain't no mild Nando sauce, fam. This is not just salt and pepper. We brought that whole sauce in it. You get me? All right, we move, fam.
Yeah, it's great, honestly. All right, so basically, guys, we're just going to go through a few topics today, some sort of like discussion points, and I want to get obviously Dubois and Dami's opinion, and then if we have time, maybe I'll add a bit on the end as well with my opinion. So the first thing we're going to talk about today from the game is obviously our midfield was brilliant today, I thought. So Kante and Kovacic I've picked out in particular. I actually done a tweet about Kante, and I think if you guys want to share some thoughts like on both of them, really, for me, Kante in particular out of the two today was like absolutely brilliant. I think he obviously is just providing that extra defensive cover, and he's for someone who like people saying like even myself have said before maybe he can't play low DM or he's not as good there as whatever is in a pivot. He sort of like proved us wrong in a way, and he's sort of back to his old self. So Dubois, what do you think about Kante and Kovacic, in particular Kante today?
Like you said, I thought Kante was unbelievable. Again, many people had doubts whether he could play that lone DM sort of role. And to be fair, like I think one of the biggest myths has been that Kante's always just sat in front of a defence. This guy runs up and down. He's a box-to-box midfielder. So when he's asked to play lone DM, obviously, we're going to have doubts because whether he can hold his position. But I thought he was excellent. Like you said, he was doing everything right. He was always there to clear up, and he held his position well. And, his pass is improving as well. I thought he looked quite rusty last season, the season before in his passing. That seemed to improve. And he's got Kovacic with him, who, to be honest, I thought first half wasn't at his best. No, we always see Kovacic driving with the ball and making passes like in between the lines and stuff, which perhaps he was a bit rusty. But in second half, he showed his true class along with Kante. And I think both of them together just showed why they should be sort of the way forward with Kante sitting and Kovacic and Nate, who was again excellent today.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I agree with a lot of what you said there. And like, we're mentioning Kovacic, guys. Kovacic isn't really starting that much nowadays. It's actually crazy. Dami, I want to get your thoughts on sort of our midfield depth and depth overall within the squad, because I think like this is just an amazing time to be a Chelsea fan right now because our depth is like out of this world. So, like, what do you have to say on the sort of depth issue? Because obviously we've had like seasons before where our depth has just not been as great as this. It's really sort of, I feel like Lampard's building the squad the correct way. So what do you think sort of about what I've just said there about the depth and the way Lampard's building his team?
I mean, at the end of the day, the midfielders we do have right now, I don't feel all of them fit exactly what Lampard wants to do. But once when you're talking about depth and what we have moving forward, a lot of people seem to forget that we're getting into the December period. We're going to be playing games every 2 to 3 to 4 days. So it's quite good that we have such a fantastic midfielder. And we've got Kante. A lot of people might not like Jorginho, but he's quite a good player as well. You've got Kovacic, that's the original dynamic trio. Then you've got Kai Havertz, you've got Mason Mount. What else am I missing out? But yeah, you've got quite a few midfielders in there that are very good. And I feel like moving forward, it will be quite interesting to see how Lampard utilizes each of these players. Because as much as Dubois has said a lot on Kante, and he played excellently, he played really well today, I do feel like what happens with Kante is when he plays against higher opposition that press a lot more, you could see that there were periods in the game when Newcastle actually tried and pressed us a bit. Kante looked a bit like in disarray, almost like what happened against Sheffield United. But this has been a positive game, so I'm not going to bring any sort of negative or essential breakdowns because, like I keep saying to a lot of people, we just got the international break. Someone like Thiago Silva and them lot, they left their countries on Thursday. No, not Thursday. Tuesday, Wednesday, flew back down to England, had recovery on Thursday, and we're back to Newcastle on Friday evening. So it's a bit mad. And like you said, man, the midfield that we do have is really good and useful for us moving forward. But like I said, man, it's good. It's good. It's an exciting time to be a Chelsea fan because there are not too many issues we do have right now. So like you see, Kai Havertz was out today. We put in Kovacic. So I'm not saying Kovacic is on the same level as Kai Havertz because some people might come at me for what I just said, but that's the rule of the game, man. That's how I see it.
Yeah, exactly. And we're just really blessed, to be honest, to have this sort of depth, not only in midfield, but also I think, obviously, people saying like our defensive depth ain't that good. I mean, left back obviously is one of the key areas where we haven't got too much great depth. But in terms of centre back, obviously we've got like 5 centre backs, and I thought today, like without Thiago Silva, I don't really like him, but I thought Rudiger played pretty well, to be honest. I mean, again, you sort of have to take into account, obviously, Newcastle, they didn't really do much. They weren't like, St. Maximin really had that one sort of attack where he cut in, and then I think Kante ended up blocking it. So you have to take into account the opposition guys. But I think, you only have to, you play what you come up against. You play what's in front of you, sort of thing. And I thought Rudiger did very well today. And I'm just hoping we can just take this forward and anyone who comes in keeps performing well. We don't want players coming in that are just like lackluster, because that's been our problem this previous season. So I hope you guys do agree with that. If you don't, then let me know down below in the comments. But another thing I wanted to talk about, obviously, from today, a very, very simple question, or it could be a very, very hard question for both of you. It's a short question. It's going to be, who was your man of the match? Now, I thought, like, it could have literally been anyone today. I was thinking, like, Kovacic, Kante. I thought Reece James played really well. I don't think Dami had the best of games, but he took his goal well. I thought some of his passing and touches and that were a bit off. But, what do you guys think, sort of short, or you can go quite long if you like, on our man of the match today? I'm going to start off with Dubois.
It's a really tough question because there's so many players who are in with a shout, but it's one I'm gonna give it to Reece James. I think Tammy, like you said, he started. I didn't think he had the best of games. He took his goal well, and that's the most important thing. He's a striker, so that was good. So I wouldn't have given it to Tammy. I think Kante, has a really good shot. I think he would have been second for me, just. But I think Reece James, I mean, this guy is improving every time he's playing, and it's scary because he's got everything to his game. He's got the crossing, he's got the defensive ability now. He's a threat going forward, and he's got the physicality, and he's only 20 years old, so I can't even begin to imagine what he's going to be like in like 2-3 years time. But today I thought he was just excellent, really, just using all of his attributes well. And having competent fullbacks now is a blessing, really. So again, Reece James, I think he's been one of our most consistent performers so far this season. So for me, it's close, but I'd give it to Reece James.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said. I love Reece James. I mean, there was this one attack, I don't know if you guys remember, but St. Maximin was on the ball and he had another Newcastle player next to him, and St. Maximin tried to run Reece James, and then the other Newcastle player come across and Reece just bodied both of them and actually kept up with St. Maximin, which was like St. Maximin, I think, is a brilliant player. I really do think he's sort of, he shouldn't really be at Newcastle. He should be at a top club for me. I think he's really good. So the fact that Reece James dealt with him well was just brilliant, because I think sometimes last season he got skinned quite a bit, quite too much in my opinion. It was a bit easier to get past Reece, but now he's just sort of taking his game up another level. What do you think about Reece James, Dami?
Now, Reece James today was phenomenal. Do you know what I'm saying? He did a bit of the link-up thing on the right-hand side with Hakim Ziyech and that. But when you're talking about man of the match, yeah, definitely I do like the fact that we've got competent fullbacks now. Ben Chilwell, Reece James. I mean, we did that first goal was an own goal, but that was a lot. That was due to the pressure that Chilwell was putting on whoever that was. I can't remember who he was, but when it comes to choosing my man of the match, I think I've got to give it to Tammy Abraham, man, genuinely, because I know that he did miss quite a few chances in that, but not even necessarily. He took his chances and quite a few of them were on target. He got his goal at the end of the day, but with all the stuff that he kept on doing, bringing players into play and all of that, he played really well. He was quite solid on the ball. He was quite confident while he was playing. So I'd sort of edge it over to Tammy Abraham. And like you said, I think everybody bar maybe, I don't know, maybe Werner did a 7 out of 10 for this game. So yeah, I think Tammy Abraham just edges it for me ever so slightly. So yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean
Rudiger, of
that's
course.
fair.
Sorry, Rudiger. I'm not a
Yeah,
fan of Rudiger's performance today. I can't lie, but yeah.
yeah. I mean a lot of people aren't a fan of Rudiger, but me myself. But personally, opinions obviously, guys. Let us know down below what you think on Rudiger. Personally, I didn't think he did too bad. I mean, there was that one chance where you like kicked it against Hayden and he scored. So I'm guessing, Dami, that's probably what's triggered you a little bit. But uh,
Not necessarily though. It's more like the fact that Rudiger today just did it. I mean, once again, it's kind of difficult trying to replace the player of Thiago Silva's caliber with someone like Rudiger. It's a lot on his shoulders, and he's not really the captain of the squad. But I just felt like with someone that's a bit more mature, the backline should be in order. Because when you watch the game back, because like I said, I was live streaming just before I hopped onto this as well, and watching the game and like looking at stuff that was going on, the backline didn't look like there was too much control or organization going on. Like I kept saying consistently throughout the stream, and I think this is something we can say for another day because like we took the W, but we'll analyze all the stuff later on. I feel personally that if we played like this against the team that actually came at us, our defense would have fallen to pieces. And I think Rudiger had a big part to do with that. He did make quite a few mistakes today as well, but overall, he didn't look like he was confident or knew exactly what was going on. Because Zuma looked like the more in-charge centre-back, when in reality, it should be Rudiger directing and telling people what to do. So maybe I'm expecting too much from him personally, but nah, man, like, based on the situation at hand, he should be doing quite a bit better, personally.
Yeah, I just want to add to that actually. You mentioned I think where Pice is coming from. I think Rudiger, if we think about Rudiger and his performances in the past, I think for a Rudiger performance, that was a decent performance. You think, I mean, in the past we've seen him, go in situations where he makes the wrong choice and he looks headless at times. But I think today, for his standards, normally, I think it was a decent performance. But I totally agree with you. I think Thiago Silva, when you're trying to replace Thiago Silva's performances, you have to have a very, very good game. And I think we just didn't seem the backline didn't seem as
Confident.
compact. Yeah,
Yeah.
confident, compact. And I think Thiago Silva brings that. And one thing I want to pick up just quickly is playing out from the back when Thiago Silva plays is a huge difference. I don't think Rudiger has the capability to play out from the back nowhere near the level
Nope.
Thiago Silva does. And that's a massive way of how we play is when we can play out from the back. And Thiago Silva is a perfect player to do that. So that's why I think Rudiger in that defense, it doesn't seem right. We don't look the same. Although, I totally agree. I think Rudiger, I just think for his standards, it was a decent game, but Thiago Silva has to be in that defense.
you know what then? I've listened to all of that. So obviously, Dami was talking about he would want someone like more mature when Thiago Silva don't play. So I'm going to pose this question to both of you then. Out of the options we've got, say Thiago Silva doesn't play like as today, like another Premier League game, and we don't have obviously Silva. Who would be your duo then? Who would you go with? Because obviously Zuma is probably Zuma is a nailed on starter. So out of Christensen, Tomori, and Rudiger, Dubois, I'm going to ask you first because Dami spoke first last time. So Dubois, who would be your centre back pairing if Thiago Silva doesn't play? Zuma and who else?
Christensen, I've been vocal about. I'm not his biggest fan, so I don't think he comes in the picture for me. I think it'd have to be Tomori for me. I think he's someone who's always coming and put in a performance where you wonder why he's not getting more minutes. He's a competent centre back. He's got a lot of pace. Yes, you could say aerially he's not the best, but when you've got Kurt Zuma next to you, I don't think that really matters. They complement each other quite well. They've worked well together. So for me, it's a no-brainer, really. I think Tomori would have to be that centre-back partner. Although I know why some people would go with Christensen with his ball-playing ability, but for me, Christensen is too inconsistent, and I just think he's better off suited in a league such as the Bundesliga where he's done it before, where it's not as fast-paced or as physical. So yeah, I'd say Tomori.
And also, guys, just to mention, obviously, when Dubois was mentioning about Tomori there, and he's not like the best aerially. Remember now we actually have a goalkeeper who can come out and catch crosses. So it's very, very nice to have, a goalkeeper that can do that and obviously take command. And obviously, aerial ability in a centre back is very, very big. But I don't think this is as big now that we've got Mendy because he actually comes out and claims stuff. I don't know, man. I just think you could think of it like that way as well. I'm going to ask Dami. Dami, who would be your centre back pairing and why?
Like Dubois said, man, it's got to be tomorrow. I don't know why tomorrow has been playing recently. I feel like it has to do with the fact that he broke lockdown rules or something. And like, obviously, at the start of the season, he was meant to go out on loan, but he declined it. So maybe that's something to do with it. But man, tomorrow has to be the one for me. And the reason why I say that is, I do agree with you on Christensen. Christensen is extremely frustrating. He's shown that he can be a top-level centre-back at times in the past, even when he went out to alone and bulked up and came back. But of recent, he has these lapses in concentration and is really frustrating to look at. However, the thing is, I've always said this, and I've been saying this ever since I started up, especially speaking on Twitter, and all the records are still there for everyone to go and look at. I've always said that when you're going to play centre-backs, okay, two centre-backs, okay, you need someone that is a bit more composed and calculated on the ball. And the centre-backs that we have that do that relatively well are Thiago Silva, Christensen, and Tomori to an extent. And then you also need the other centre-back that goes out and does the bit of the aggressive stuff, which is Zuma and Rudiger. Now, you need to pair one of each with each other. So I don't see Rudiger starting over Zuma for anything. So that's why I'm having to choose Tomori. Not only because I feel like he's the better centre-back overall, but he just doesn't fit together. Because there was that one thing where you had Zuma trying to get the ball and the Rudiger like spun mid-air. I can't remember who took the shot. Can you guys remind me? Somebody wanted to take a shot or something, and Rudiger tried to like jump in front of it, and Zuma was the one ahead. In that situation, he should be challenging the ball to the other side of the pitch. Like, tactically, he's not it for me. Being smart overall, he's not it for me. So it just has to be Tomori, man. Tomori and Zuma should be what we have if we don't have Thiago Silva playing. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and personally, I don't remember that incident there, which you mentioned about the shot. But what I can say, guys, is obviously when you're listening to this, if you disagree or agree, please let us know down in the comments below. And if you agree with Dubois and Dami about Tomori, can you let us know down in the comments below why you feel like he should play and why you feel like he should deserve more time? You know, because it's very easy just to say, oh, Tomori deserves to play, but I'll be very, very interested to see why you actually think he deserves that spot if Thiago Silva isn't playing. So, again, the centre-back debate will go on forever, honestly, this season. It really, really will when Thiago Silva's not playing. So we're going to move on for that, otherwise we'll be on that topic forever. I mean, I've got like two more topics here, I think. One of them is like a very, very interesting question, which I think me and Dubois have actually answered briefly before. So I'm going to ask Dami alone on this one. So Dami, this is a question targeted towards you, and it is a very, very obvious question. The thing that everyone's asking at the moment is, can Chelsea win the league this season and why?
Ha 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 ha. Oh my God! What did you man say to the? What did you guys say to this?
I personally feel like we can. I really, really do. Because, like, I don't know, man. The way we're playing and the way we're defending right now, like, I know, like, we haven't played the best of teams lately, but I've just not seen as good as football as this, like, consistently. We're the highest top scorers in the Premier League, and we're also keeping them out now. Kante's back to his best, which, like, guys, you don't realise how much like a proper good Kante can help you in a title race. You know, he's done it with Leicester and he's done it with us as well. I think if Kante can keep this form, he's going to be a major, major reason why we can go for the title. So, and taking into account as well that today and in previous weeks, we haven't even had Pulisic or Havertz. Guys, can you cast your mind back to last season? How good was Pulisic? This guy was unreal last season. So just imagine, like, I remember, like, everyone was saying, oh, you know what, we'll just outscore teams. That's what everyone was saying at the start of the season. We'll just outscore teams. Like, why can't we? Like, genuinely, I'm looking at it now. I'm not even thinking it like it's career mode, you know, like simming the fixtures. Like, I'm genuinely looking at each team and the lineup we can put out. We can pretty much outscore everyone in the league. Like, I don't see why we can't win most of our games. We just have to stay consistent. And I think we will. I really, really think we will. Hopefully, I'm not getting too ahead of myself. But, like, especially, I see people as well, another thing, people were saying, oh, well, you know, when you played Liverpool, blah, 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 you weren't that good. But we was also missing key players then as well, you know. So it's like, I don't know, man. I think we can win the league, personally. There's a lot more to it. So I'm going to let others speak on it. Obviously, Dami, what do you think?
Personally, with the whole situation, yeah, I've got to be honest with you, because I had Frank Khalid on the pod recently, like a few months back, and he did feel like we could win the league. I sort of agreed with him as well. And I had on Zach Jalab, one of Chelsea's presenters as well. And then I spoke to him, and he did also feel like we could win the league. I do think that we can win the league with this squad. But for me, and this thing I keep saying to everybody is, I am waiting till we get to January/February. Okay, I'm waiting for us to get through this difficult period where you play games every 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Okay, no, not 5, like every other day, basically, like every 3 days. When the intensity is at its best, this is usually the point in the season where stuff gets filtered out. Now, once again, I'm not trying to be overcritical of Chelsea and not too critical of how stuff have been done, but I'm trying to see us when we're playing against Leeds, when you've got Leeds this day. Tottenham next day, Liverpool, Arsenal, United. As much as we like to take the piss out of certain teams like that are not playing too well, they still are top clubs and they can turn up. That's what top clubs do. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to see how we handle this December period. And after all of that has been analysed, then I can give you like a solid concrete thing. But as things currently stand with the way Liverpool's team are out due to the thing that's going around that you're not allowed to say on YouTube, and like Manchester City as well. I mean, not everybody's playing at their optimum capacity right now. So with the way Chelsea are playing, with the number of goals we have, top of the league right now, I can't see it happening. I wouldn't be surprised if we won it. Obviously, I'd be elated, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to give a better, more structured, and more confident answer by the end of all this Christmas period, this Christmas madness. Yeah.
You know what? I do agree with you there a little bit. Now, what you said, obviously, about the Christmas period, I agree with a lot, obviously, because it's like, really it does define the season. Like, it really shapes up what the season's usually going to end up like. I think if we come out of, the Christmas period, December, sort of mid-January, if we're second with like 2-3 points behind, or we're even first, I feel like we will win it, because I do feel like we've got enough mentality. I feel like we've got enough mix now between the squad as well. I think obviously last season we was never title contenders, but say we was like title contenders, our squad would have just been too young. But now we've got more experience, I feel like, with Silva and other people, Mendy, I feel like it's very, very underrated as well, in terms of, obviously, he's been about a lot, and obviously when I'm watching him play as well, I do see him as a bit of a leader, even though he can't really speak English right now. But you can just tell by the way he plays, he's made a massive, massive difference. So yeah, I think it's definitely up to debate. So it's time to now let Dubois speak a little bit. What do you think, obviously, on what me and Dami have just said about the whole league situation, basically?
Yeah, I love how Dami just sat on the fence there, and then Christmas time comes, he's gonna evaluate again in another
You know
2
the
months.
vibes, innit? I'm not trying
No,
to get
but he's actually, like, he's right, though. He's
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
because Christmas is, like, the defining factor. I remember, like, you remember Sarri's season, when we was playing, like, really, really well at the start. We went, like, mad, unbeaten run and all that. And then Christmas came around, we just went to shit. You know what I mean? We weren't, like, I don't know. We
Yeah,
just got
no.
to survive Christmas for me.
I think, yeah, it's a good point. I mean, we've seen, like you said, under Sarri, we thought we started really well, and then we tailed off in Christmas. But again, I've said it before. Like, at the moment, yeah, I think enjoy it while we can, because obviously, top of the league for now anyway. But it's looking positive. But I think we need to remember that it's not going to be plain sailing right the way through. The chances of that happening, I just think they're very slim for this season. I think I've said before, I think with you, Pius, that I don't think we'll win the league this season, and I say that because it's going to be like a roller coaster. Who would have said 3-4 weeks ago that Chelsea are going to talk about winning the league? Many of us were questioning whether Lampard will still be in the job, and it was a fair discussion because obviously we weren't seeing improvement. But so that's why I think it's very, football can change very quickly, and that's.
I love that, fam. Sorry to cut you off, but I love how you said football can change very quickly. I don't know about you two, but I'm scrolling through my timeline, and some people that I know were Lampard out massively already, Lampard in and all that, saying, glad I never tweeted about Lampard, blah, blah, blah. The truth about the whole matter is, like, the way things are moving right now, and once again, I hate to be one of those people that sounds realistic when everybody's excited and happy about stuff that's going on. Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you look at the situation at hand and what we have to deal with what we have going on, like, how do I put it? We've got Kante and these lot. Like I said, once again, look at what Sheffield United did to us in the first 10 minutes of that game. We ended up winning the game 4-1, okay? And look at what Newcastle did to us in few segments of this game as well. What happens when we have that for 30 to 40 minutes? What happens when we're playing against teams that will punish us? Like, Newcastle had some genuine opportunities to score that they did not convert. So do you see where I'm going with this? That's why I'm saying I'm waiting till next year. So a lot of people might say I'm on the fence, which Dubois, you've exposed me, you're 100% right. I'm actually just sitting on the fence. It sounds like an extremely calculated way of saying, yeah, we might win the league. But yeah, that's why I'm so silent on the whole situation, because as much as things are starting to come to light with Kante and that playing quite well, it's like, how do I put it? Do you guys get where I'm coming from? I don't know if you guys get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
so
I do.
That's why I'm saying wording it that way. So.
I do get where you're coming from. And obviously, we are going to have tough games where we do concede goals, and we're not going to go bloody unbeaten the whole season. Obviously, from now, like, we're not going to, after this game, go mental and go on an unbeaten run or anything like that. We are going to lose games that maybe we don't expect to. That's what happens in title run-ins as well. So if we are thinking that sort of way. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And obviously, this is going to be up for debate each week. Like, next 2 weeks, I could be asking the same question. In next 3 months, I could be saying, are you Lampard out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't know. It's like Lampard could go to shit. You know, our players could, you know, his in-game management could be arsed. His lineups people would disagree with. You know, I don't know, man. It's just very interesting. So anyway, that's enough of that. You can go on about this all day. Honestly, we could. So the last sort of question I'm going to ask you guys, as we're going to wrap this up in a minute. So very, very quickly, guys. Dami first. What is our best lineup, best 11, and best formation when fully fit? Everyone fully fit. So go with the formation, then tell me your lineup very, very quickly.
Hands down, 4-3-3 has to be 4-3-3. That's what I'd appreciate. Obviously, Kepa and goal, Alonso left with. I'm joking. Okay, we've got
no problem.
Oh my days, we've got Mendy in goal. Obviously, Mendy's doing the madness recently. My guy's got 7 clean sheets out of 9 games, something like that. He's doing bits at Chelsea Football Club right now. Left wing, we've got Benjamin Chilwell. My guy obviously had a lot of doubts about when he came into our team, you know, because of how he played last season, but proving me wrong, which I love to be done, because at the end of the day, we're all Chelsea fans, in it, and we just want to win. That's what that matters. You've got Reece James right-hand side doing the madness over there as well. Thiago Silva, Kurt Zuma, forming a fantastic backline with a keeper that can communicate as well. In that midfield, we've got Kai Havertz, you've got N'Golo Kante, and some people might bluff at this and be like, oh my God, youth worshipper, blah, blah, blah. I think it's probably Mason Mount, just because of what he does for Kante going back and defensively is extremely underrated, and it's not something that a lot of people will talk about. Obviously, Kovacic was a player of the season last year, and he's starting to pick up on form and that, but I don't think he offers the same defensively when working with N'Golo Kante. People might disagree with me on that, but that's why I'm putting...
Dami's banned from the pod, guys. He's going against my boy Kovacic here, so...
No, I'm not even going, like, obviously, yeah. Oh, my days, but, like, Kovacic, I love Kovacic, innit? Like, some people were violating Kovacic on the tier, and I had to step and slap them up. Do you know what I'm saying? You can't violate Kovacic because he's a fantastic player. Do you know what I'm saying? But when I look at because on that right-hand side, you've got to put Kai Havertz. You know what I'm saying? And Kovacic on that left-hand side, I don't think it works too well with Chilwell and Pulisic on that left-hand side. Like I said, he can fit in definitely and get a job done. And press resistant, very good at progressing the ball, fantastic player. But like I said, that's why I'm trying to explain the thing with Mount, because a lot of people are going to hear me Mount, sigh, block me, and then start screenshotting and doing all sorts with my tweets. But at the end, the reason why I'm choosing Mason Mount, and if you have something to counter this that's useful, then I'll agree with you. But the reason I'm choosing Mason Mount, because he offers so much more defensively in helping Kante out. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's why Lampard was playing him on the left wing a lot of the time as well. So that would be my midfield 3. Christian Pulisic on the left wing, Hakim Ziyech on the right, and Timo Werner down the middle. I think that's Chelsea's best 11.
Fair enough. And Dubois, what is yours? And then I'll finish off with mine.
I'm going to give a different one just because, you know, I think we're all going to be pretty similar on this, barring 1 or 2 changes. So I'm going to give a different one. I'll get hate for it, but at the end of the day, I don't care anymore. So go Mendy in goal. The normal back 4, you got Chilwell, Reece James, Thiago Silva, Zuma. I'm going 4-2-2-2. We're going to go with Kovacic and Kante, with Ziyech and Pulisic ahead of them, and then a front 2 of Timo Werner and Olivier Giroud.
My God, you love the Giroud, bro. Oh my days.
Got to get him in, man.
I love Giroud, man. Honestly, he deserves more minutes. I don't care if he starts, but honestly, show some respect to this guy. He's such a baller, honestly. He's such a gun, man. Honestly, I love it. I love Giroud. He needs to play more, honestly. But yeah, fair enough. Fair enough for being a bit different. Obviously, mine's pretty much the same as Dami's, apart from Kovacic ahead of Mount, because obviously I'm the biggest Kovacic fanboy there is. So I'm just going to sort of, you know, start an argument here. Down in the comments below or on Twitter again, I'm probably guessing. So anyway, guys,
blocked, but we move regardless.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I argue about like Mount and stuff all the time, but it's all good fun at the end of the day. But honestly, yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap up the episode. We've talked about a lot of things today. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and obviously thank you for listening again. We've got another big guest next Thursday, so we'll be announcing that. Look on our Twitter. So keep up to date, sort of thing, and we'll post the announcement on probably Wednesday night. So we're very, very happy about doing this podcast as well. Me and Dubois, it's going really well. So yeah, just keep supporting us, guys, and that'll be very, very good. And we appreciate you loads. And obviously comment down below, and we'll get back to you as well, or DM us. And last thing to say really is thank you, Dami, for coming on. Of course, I'll leave his socials down below in the description. Also has a YouTube channel. So Dami, would you like to say final words to the listeners?
Nah, man's not got much to say. Obviously, man's been a bit on the ghosting because of the YouTube thing. But now we're back in business. Obviously, thank you guys so much for having me on the pod. Enjoyed it so much. It's a bit different, not having to waffle down the camera for 3 hours looking at the screen and all that. It's nice. It's nice. So, like I said, big ups to that. I'm doing things with Ligue 1 at the moment. So I've got my streams I do on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and I just do watch alongs for all the Chelsea games. But other than that, I've got nothing else to plug. So man's got a dip.
Fair enough. And then obviously every one of our socials will be down below in the description. And yeah, guys, thank you for listening. And also, if you're on Spotify, thank you for listening as well. That doesn't go unnoticed. I know some of you do listen over there. So again, guys, thank you very much. And we'll see you in the next episode.